All right, so let's explain, I guess, everyone. Yeah. First of all, how's everybody doing? Having a great time so far? Thanks, MJ, for leading that off. So here's the deal. Piers had this great idea that we should go out to the streets of New York and really ask people what they thought about the service department business. So we spent Sunday and Monday out on the streets, and I was a little cold, so I hope as you watch this, you feel sympathy for me. That's what this whole project was about. But really, the truth is, we wanted to see what they thought, how consumers are responding to the sector. What do they really know all about it? So we got this great video that we put together. Piers, think we should give it a roll?
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you feel about doing it? Because I was, you know,
how did I feel about doing it?
I was stood behind you, listening to all these comments coming. I learned so much.
Well, I'm very shy and uncomfortable, so the whole thing was just really, you know, strange for me.
Of course.
But I actually thought it was a really great exercise. I thought it was a lot of fun because I find that a lot of times we're here in our little world, our little community, and we could suffer from groupthink. So it was a really great opportunity to go out and try to break that, get a fresh perspective. And I know that we both learned an awful lot as we film these, above and beyond what you're going to see here today. But great exercise. I encourage each and every one of you to go out and ask people outside your peer group what they think about the businesses you're in. I think you'll be surprised by what you'll learn.
All right.
All right?
Roll
the video.
Tape.
We took to the streets of New York City to find out what people really think about service departments, or do they think of them at all? Name some hotel brands.
The W, Four Seasons, Marriott, Hilton.
Hilton, Sheraton, Holiday Inn.
A W, Westin.
We are staying at the Intercontinental Barclay.
Marriott, for sure. Hilton.
I like to stay in 4- and 5-star hotels. Who doesn't?
Well, me personally, I like to sleep in a van down by the river. But if you like luxury, that's okay. All right, so have you ever heard the term serviced apartment?
Nope.
How about corporate housing?
No.
No, I haven't heard of that.
No, I have not.
No.
No.
I have not.
No.
Not really.
No. You've heard of a serviced apartment?
I think so.
That's great. What do you think a serviced apartment is?
I'm thinking right now of the public transportation system. Am I way off?
You've never heard of this segment at all in this in the sector, and you're a consultant in travel, almost 50% for business, right?
That's correct. Yeah, right. I haven't heard about that before.
Now, you conference goers, we've got a lot of work to do. You heard of serviced apartments?
Yes, sure.
You have. Have you ever stayed in any?
I did.
Wow, that's exciting. What brand was it?
Ascot.
Ascot. Okay, great. So we're making progress. We found someone in New York City who has heard of service departments. This is exciting to me. Have you heard of Airbnb?
Of course.
Of course. What about other companies that do what Airbnb is doing?
Nope.
Nope.
I really use Airbnb a lot.
I like that it's really flexible to book, and I like that the price is always, good value for money.
Airbnb, I just like the whole concept about, just getting housing however you need it, whenever you need it.
I like that that you can have porches, balconies sometimes when you can't otherwise, and you have a lot more privacy.
I like an experience that allows me to still be who I am, as opposed to just this is just a bed and a TV and a bathroom.
What makes you choose an Airbnb over a hotel?
If there are more than one of us, it's usually cheaper.
It's cheapest way. You get in touch with local people who live in the same house. So.
I use Hostel World for booking. I like hostels because I can meet people. So I went to Taiwan on my own, and I stayed in hostels, and I met so many people.
Honestly, I will compare the hotel price with the Airbnb price and just choose what's cheaper. Because I actually and where it is in relation to where I want to be.
Would you be interested in staying in a place that's more like an apartment than a traditional hotel room?
Yes.
What do you like about that idea?
I like that it feels more flexible and more private as well. Yeah.
I enjoy living like a local, so that's probably why I would choose to live in a typical neighborhood.
You could stay in a serviced apartment for shorter periods of time and book it online real time. Is that something that would interest you?
Yes, sure.
Right.
Sure. That is my practice too.
That would be very attractive to me. There can be a little bit of sketchiness and scariness about staying in someone else's home where you don't know where you're going into. So yes, that would appeal to me.
What if I told you that this business has been around for many decades right now, but because they're not easily bookable on the internet, you just didn't know anything about them?
That's interesting, because I searched the net for interesting things, so I haven't seen that.
Okay, now we're going to turn it back to Piers and myself and see what you all have to think about what we just watched. All right. Wow. So Piers, I think that was both exciting, invigorating, and insanely scary all at the same time.
Scary, but come on, opportunity as well. You know,
Right. Yeah, and to me, I mean, this is where we'd love to bring you guys in and have you share your thoughts on it. But my overall opinion after talking to everyone on the streets is there's great opportunity for every single person in this room. We saw consumers are desperate for this type of product. It's just that Airbnb seems to be capturing all of the attention right now. So they're looking for something different. They're looking to live like a local. They're looking to meet other people. They're looking to have more space. They're looking to stay the way that they want to stay and control their destiny.
Yeah, something that came home to me was choice. They want a lot of choice.
Right.
Ease of use booking, you know, Airbnb is sort of on the money there. Price was important. I was surprised, you know, with obviously the demographic. I was surprised that the W brand got mentioned, unprompted, you know, probably more than ever, and it was straight away. It was straight away. But you know, hopefully some thoughts for the hoteliers out there as well. You know, there's a lot of things changing as people evolve with their preference.
Absolutely. So, what do you feel? We have the box over there. If someone would love to kick it off. I'm curious as to what you think about customers really looking at that price-value equation. I think more keenly than ever. I mean, everyone here seems to be feeling pretty good about the economy, but they seem to be more price conscious. Could we get that catch box? Anyone want to share their thoughts? Don't leave us hanging up here. That'd be very sad.
How do you feel? How do you feel seeing that? Opportunity? I hope so. You know,
all right, we're gonna. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
If you hit someone in the head, though, oh, hey, great throw.
What I find interesting is we're in service departments. We're quite happy to use Booking.com or other similar OTAs. Why are service departments so afraid using Airbnb?
Well, I think we're starting to see that certain companies are getting involved in that. Piers, you're the expert in this. What do you think?
Like it was said, you know, on a couple of the panels that, you know, Larry Corman, for instance, was saying, yeah, he's almost laboratory test. You know, he learns as he lists on Airbnb and has been a partner of those guys. I think it's quite refreshing. You know, I really do. You know, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe longer, you had, you know, poles in the room who stayed at an Airbnb, and that's, you know, everybody has really now.
Right.
And, you know, you hear the odd horror story, but based on the amount of bookings that they take, it's perhaps a breath of fresh air, which is tempered with your own product and ultimately understanding your guest and your target market.
And I think when, like, sites such as bridgestreet.com, when they become more visible to the customer, I think we're going to start to see a sea change away from that Airbnb. To me, Airbnb is just a shortcut because people know what it is right now. So it's up to everyone in this room to make their products more visible through areas such as bridgestreet.com. We got a question or a statement back there. If we can get it to him. Oh, I thought you were going for. I thought you were going for the catch box.
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Oh. Let us know who you are and where you're from, please.
So I'm Filippo Cavandoli. I'm CEO of Nomad Apart Hotels. We're the sponsor of the badge. And so to get your property out there, you need to use the OTAs. Nobody's going to look for a service apartment, and to fill up your property, we publicize ourselves as an apart hotel. So who doesn't know what a service apartment is, reads the name hotel next to apart, and he sees that we have all the services that normal hotels have. But, you know, to get back to your question about Airbnb, Airbnb doesn't let you advertise your property on it because you have to have one single apartment. At least that was how it was last year. So I don't know if it's changed, but you can't list more than one apartment on Airbnb. So that's why it'll be for people who have more than one property or more than one unit. It's Airbnb will never go with a big brand. So it's they want to keep themselves like, you know, like the girl was saying in the video, a small apartment in a local area, in a local neighborhood. And who books Airbnb doesn't want the service that you get in a hotel.
Right.
So I think the main thing for all the big players are doing this, it's OTAs, and it's and then attract, you know, keep your guests, and so they book directly with you. But so that it was to answer for your question about Airbnb.
Interesting. All right, we got some more stuff up here. If we could throw this to George over here, and then we can
go
over there. Watch out, George.
I'm just thinking, watching that film, to me it's all about scale of a brand.
Right.
I mean, the only guy that recognized any service department was the one with Ascot. And Ascot have got over 40,000 units worldwide with 27,000 in. So I think one of the ways we've really got to do it, and we'll see it at the time, I mean, the industry's still pretty young, it's growing, but as we see, people joining together, and it's going to be that scale that's going to really help us get our name out there in the marketplace.
Right. I agree with you, but I'd also like to add it's strong marketing. Think about what people were saying about W, and think about the global distribution that they have. They're one of the most well-known brands, but I could stay here and say, Home 2 Suites by Hilton. They have more than 200 of them, but the vast majority of people don't even know what that is. So I think you're right. Add a little bit of marketing, and I think we're going to have a winning combination. I think you wanted to say something? Let's get the box. This is a very hazardous conversation.
Sounds like a grounder in baseball.
Yeah, right. Well, at least he didn't do a Bill Buckner.
I want to bring up something about TripAdvisor. Or can we talk about that in a minute?
Yeah, whatever. You've got the box. You're in charge.
TripAdvisor. I have properties on TripAdvisor right now, and we get reviews, whatnot. Recently bought another property. Same thing. TripAdvisor says, no, we don't want you on here. We reject it. Anybody else have that problem? It's a furnished apartments, hotel. I have furnished townhomes. They'll take those. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. But now they don't take them.
Yeah? Keep it toss. I'm thinking maybe they just don't like you personally.
Yeah.
Woo!
Might not have the same response, but I don't work for TripAdvisor. I'm actually with Booking.com, but I do recognize that for all of you, you can all do what you want, but it's important to maximize your visibility, I think, on all those channels. I think the issue with TripAdvisor is they haven't figured out how they're going to create that visibility in that sphere. So I know they are changing quickly. I would suggest checking there. And I know the rule of thumb with them is they'll showcase a page for someone that has a minimum, I think, of 5 units, and then they'll create a landing page for you. So I don't know how many units you had. If it was one singular unit, I don't think they'll do it. And if you want to create a brand page, wouldn't be the best route necessary. No, it wouldn't be, because TripAdvisor is basically an aggregate site now, so you need to be bookable for that. Yeah.
How I found it, the same thing, I got on there with it last time, and they said no with my furnished townhomes, and then they found me. They said, okay, now we live, and then all of a sudden I found myself on it, and then I updated or whatnot. I think I have to do the same thing with my new apartment that I just recently put in. They'll have to find me, and then I'll have to update the pictures and whatnot.
Interesting. Next statement over there. Thank you. All right, back to you.
Sorry, I was just going to say, since we've got Booking.com here in the room, Booking.com, the problem we have with it is when people book through it, they anticipate that we're a hotel. We're a service department. We are a different. Is Booking.com going to accept the challenge of looking at bringing in a branded sector that actually is a booking engine for service departments? Well, we're not hotels. Booking.com is known and people understand it for hotels. For example, as a service department, we take full payment immediately. I would hate the thought of somebody turning up and actually going to pay me the day they arrive. I'm very, very pleased that I have their money 2 to 3 months before they arrive. To me, that's what I do. And it doesn't fit the Booking.com model completely. So the challenge is, as you can see, we've got an identity problem where people don't particularly know the service department market. Is Booking.com looking at taking on Airbnb and saying, hey, this is a sector of the market. Are we prepared to have a booking engine that identifies and services this market? And if so.
All right, so no pressure. You need a solution by the end of this conversation.
Well, getting back to earlier, I think what I took from it is, from an OTA perspective, I think the key thing there is choice, to give people a breadth of choice. And with the blurring occurring, sometimes, do you want to, I won't say pigeonhole yourself, but if you put yourself as a service department, based on the awareness being really, really low, you might struggle with bookings.
Right. But I think it's great to just underscore again, because of where we are, there's so much more opportunity to be gained. And I really feel like we're at the nascent stages here of success, even though this has been a business that's been here for decades.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure. Anyone want to? Okay, Gordon, let's get the.
Yeah?
Here we are.
All right, I'll let you throw it.
This is supposedly rugby.
Oh, beautiful catch.
Thank you. So the answer to the question regarding Booking.com is, yeah, we're 75% there with MyKey, where they are going to have an actual dedicated service department, corporate housing, where we're working in alliance with one another. But the thing is, in order for us as an industry to accelerate awareness and drive conversion to our brands, is we have to have a place where somebody can go just to see us. And that's why, MyKey developed a platform for best-in-class operators to go and put their shingle up and have a place to go to be seen.
I would say go to bridgestreet.com and you'll see exactly just that.
And there's another one. So,
Yep.
so it doesn't really matter when we think about platforms and technology. It's smart to be on them all. It's a lot of work to manage.
Right.
It does expand awareness.
All right.
Great. Excellent.
Okay, well, thank you very much for doing
Hey,
that.
thanks so much. I want to hear more of your
All right.
opinions also. Thank you.
Okay. All right, just in terms of awareness, what I just wanted to highlight is the Service Department Charter, which we launched about 3 or 4 years ago, which is a bit of a catalyst for the conference that we host in London. It was predominantly really to help investors understand the sector more, and I think it's come a long way in a relatively short period of time. So the brands that you see up there endorse the charter document. Now, there are copies of the charter on each table. So if there are any brands that want to be added to this, just come and see me or a member of my team. All we need is a high-res logo. Of course, it's worldwide now. There's approximately 350,000 units, which is around about 35% of worldwide service department supply on there. So what we're trying to do with the charter is ultimately for investors, to help investors understand it, recognize the brands on there, and give them a lot more reassurance about, it is a proper hospitality sector, and perhaps no longer alternative. I hate the word. I don't know about you guys. It's almost as if let's come up with something a bit better than alternative. Complimentary, hey? How about that? Maybe. Okay. Okay, so your Seiko on there, Skyline, and stuff. So if anybody has a brand that they want to be added to, perhaps on the provider's side, do come and see me. Okay, we're spot on time, so we're going to break for lunch. Thank you for your engagement during that session. I hope you got quite a bit out of it.